Okay, gonna try one more take here on putting this Yita Motor instructional video for the 2011 to 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The instructions are god-awful. There's only a step for taking the bolt out, and then it just says to attach the bars to the rail. Yeah, that's really helpful. So over here, the first thing you do is you take these off. And to do that, you just turn these. There we go. And they pop right off. So you just turn it. It's hard to show with this cell phone camera, but it's like that. It's locked. Turn it up, and then you just pull it, and it'll pop right out. There we go. And you do that to the other side too. There we go. And then you can move this rubber piece forward and backward, whichever way, and pull it and push it to get to where you can see the screws. Okay, and the next thing you want to do is loosen these up. Loosen the one on the left a little bit. Well, I should say the one that's inside a little bit, and the one on the outside is going to come out completely like that. And the reason it's going to come out is because when you turn this over, this bracket is going to pop out like that, and that's what's going to go inside the crevice, and we'll show you that now. Okay, so up on top of the Jeep, you're going to find out where exactly you want to slide this to. It's going to have this kind of L shape on each side, or maybe like 2 feet. The feet, if the guy's walking towards you, lip that underneath, lip it underneath both sides so that both those hooks are under, and then just pull it forward so it latches like that, and then that'll just drop in like that. So it's funky, and I agree. I don't understand why they designed it that way, but hey, I didn't do it. Okay, so we got our assembly up here, and if I didn't mention it, you want to loosen up that other screw a little bit. Don't take it out, just loosen it. It should all look like that. And you've got your little piece underneath. This is just going to come straight down on top. You should kind of feel it click. You don't really feel it completely click. You just kind of feel it move a little bit. And I'm not doing a very good job with this. That's okay. And then all you do is, if you're lined up where you should be, try not to drop your hex key, as I've done a lot of times. If you do, you just go pick it up, try to look cool about it so your neighbors don't think you're a goofball. Okay, and you might have to jiggle. Oh, as I was saying, you might want to jiggle this bottom piece a little bit to make sure that it lines up with this screw, the little bracket that you unscrewed it from underneath. After you do that, you'll feel it cinch down, but it won't completely tighten until you tighten the other one that you loosened. So tighten both of them. Okay, and once you tighten them both down, like I said, I didn't have much of a problem. As long as it's centered over the bracket underneath, that screw should drop right into where it's supposed to, the outside one. And then you just tighten down this one to get it so that it's, you know, as flush as it can be right there. Okay, and that should be the finished once that's all tightened down. And then what I did is I just pulled this out. Once I tightened those screws down, I pulled it out completely where it was lifted up. And you pull it over, and then you just pull it back, and that'll get it back to where it's smooth on top. Alright, and the other thing is, one of these says front on it, and the other one says rear. I don't know if you can see it down there, but it says rear, and it's got arrows pointing backwards. So I assume they mean the rear of this thing is going to go that way to the behind me in the front, because the front has arrows pointing forward. It's going to go forward, which means these will be facing each other. So the wide part will be facing each other. So we'll find out if I screwed it up here in a minute. Okay, just so you guys can see what I've been working on. I made it so that this and that side were as close to possibly parallel, or perpendicular I suppose, to this right here as it could be, so that they were, you know, equally lined up. And then I tightened it down, and the last thing, just kind of a common thing to do, but you use this part like this and tighten it, and then, sorry, I'm gonna bolt my mouth, and then after that's done, you turn it sideways and do one last little quarter turn or so, just to get them nice and snug. And I emphasize after you're completely done, as I'm still out here. So okay, and I'm just doing the final touches. So far it looks like what I thought was right, but I just wanted to show you what I was talking about with this. You pull this whole thing back and see where that lump is. You pull it past that lump and it'll drop down back to where it's supposed to be, and then you just go to the other side and pull it, and it's got a little give, so it'll pull and straighten out when you get to the other side and push it. I heard some guy was using a rubber mallet, and that's not really necessary. Hey, look at that, we teleported. Okay, and I'm just gonna go on the other side and pull that little slack out, and then it'll, well, same with the other one too, because they're both kind of hanging over. Yeah. Alright, so apparently my pulling it technique, it looks nice and smooth, but now we have this, and if I try to push it in there, I feel like it's just going to bunch up. So I'm going to cut it because it's rubber. I don't exactly see how this will be a bad thing yet, but we'll find out. Okay, so there we go. Snipped it, put the deal in, and apparently there's actually, I don't know yet, but it almost felt like there was 2 of these for one of them and 2 of them for the other. So we'll find out for sure if that's the case. I tried to put one in one side and it didn't seem like it wanted to fit. But anyway, I don't know what the heck I was looking at. Sorry. Alright, so that's pretty much that. Alright, so that's pretty much as good as I think I'm going to get it for a day, which is pretty good. Not 100% perfection, as you know, if I paid somebody to do it probably, but hey, this is close enough. And it looks like these little end caps, they are, you should take them off maybe one at a time if you're super OCD like me, but I didn't, and so you just have to figure out. I think there's 2 that fit one side and 2 that fit the other, so you just have to figure that out. And all you do is, if it doesn't fit, try a different one. Don't force it, because then you're probably just going to force another one later on. Okay, that's it for this video. Locked them back up, and I'm going to go eat some sushi.